Typhoon Ragasa, one of the most powerful storms of the 2025 Pacific season, struck southern China late Tuesday evening, September 23rd, after leaving widespread damage in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, and the northern Philippines. The storm made landfall at approximately 8:50 p.m. local time on Hailing Island, part of Yangjiang City in Guangdong Province. At the time of landfall, Ragasa was carrying sustained winds equivalent to a Category 3 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, with higher gusts recorded. Chinese authorities undertook one of the largest pre-storm evacuation operations in recent memory. According to the Ministry of Emergency Management, nearly 1.9 million residents across Guangdong Province were relocated from high-risk areas before Ragasa made landfall. In Shenzhen, a city of more than 17 million people, officials reported that 400,000 residents were moved from coastal districts and older housing developments considered vulnerable to strong winds and flooding. Across the province, more than 80,000 fishing boats and smaller vessels were recalled to port. The government deployed a large emergency workforce. Approximately 38,000 first responders, including firefighters, medical teams, and search and rescue personnel, were placed on standby. Public life across Guangdong came to a halt. Schools, government offices, and most businesses were closed. Intercity trains were suspended. Ferries operating between Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau were canceled. Hundreds of flights were grounded at Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport, Shenzhen Baoan International Airport, and regional airports serving Zhuhai and Yangjiang. The China Meteorological Administration, CMA, reported that Ragasa weakened slightly before landfall, but still brought destructive winds, torrential rain, and coastal flooding. At Chuandao in Jiangmen City, meteorological stations recorded wind gusts up to 241 kilometers per hour. In Shenzhen, gusts were measured near 200 kilometers per hour, damaging high-rise buildings and uprooting trees. Closer to landfall at Yangjiang, sustained winds were observed around 145 kilometers per hour. The National Marine Environmental Forecasting Center issued a red alert for storm surge, the highest level warning. Forecasters warned that sea levels along Guangdong's coast could rise by up to 2.8 meters, or about 9 feet above normal tide levels. Seawater flooding was reported in Zhuhai, where waves breached barriers along the waterfront. Yangjiang City, where the storm came ashore, experienced severe wind damage. Streets were littered with fallen trees, broken glass, and debris from metal roofing and construction scaffolding. Local authorities reported that railway stations and bus services were closed, leaving normally busy transport hubs deserted. In Zhuhai, near Macau, seawater pushed into coastal roads, and authorities shut down power to several flood-prone neighborhoods to prevent electrical hazards. Pumping stations were activated to reduce water levels in residential areas. In Shenzhen, city officials kept emergency shelters open through the night. Residents in high-rise apartments were advised to move to lower floors or relocate to safer buildings. While the city's extensive infrastructure reduced damage compared with smaller towns, winds broke windows in several commercial towers, and cleanup crews began clearing down trees on Wednesday morning. Guangzhou, the provincial capital and a key commercial hub, avoided a direct landfall, but still faced strong winds and heavy rainfall. Streets in several districts were flooded, and public transportation services were temporarily disrupted. Across Guangdong, electricity was cut to large areas either by storm or as a precautionary measure. Power restoration teams were dispatched after the storm's passage. The The Southern Power Grid Company reported thousands of technicians working to restore service to priority facilities, such as hospitals, emergency shelters, and water treatment plants. Railway operators suspended all high-speed and regional services in and out of Guangdong on Tuesday. As of Wednesday morning, service remained disrupted, though assessments were underway to resume limited operations once track inspections are complete. Air traffic controllers reported more than 400 canceled flights in southern China. Airports in Guangzhou and Shenzhen remained closed through the night, with gradual reopening expected once wind speeds fall below operational. The Ministry of Civil Affairs reported that hundreds of thousands of evacuees are currently housed in temporary shelters across Guangdong. Supplies of food, bottled water, and medical assistance are being distributed. So far, Chinese authorities have not confirmed official casualty numbers within the mainland. However, they have emphasized that the scale of evacuation helped prevent greater loss of life. The China Meteorological Administration stressed that while Ragasa weakened after making landfall, the storm remains dangerous due to heavy rainfall. Officials warned that flash flooding, river flooding, and landslides may occur well after the storm's winds subside. Local governments in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian issued public advisories urging residents to stay away from rivers, mountain slopes, and other high-risk areas. The State Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters announced that rescue and relief operations would remain active for at least 1 week, with continuous monitoring of river levels. Ragasa's impact in China followed its devastating effects in neighboring regions. In Taiwan, at least 17 people were killed, and dozens remain missing after a dam failure in Hualien County unleashed floodwaters through Guangfu Township. In Hong Kong, authorities raised the highest storm warning signal, forcing widespread closures, while Macau shut down its casinos and suspended ferry links. The World Meteorological Organization highlighted Ragasa as another example of increasingly intense Pacific typhoons. Warmer ocean temperatures, scientists note, provide more energy for storms, contributing to stronger winds and heavier rainfall. As of Wednesday, more than 50,000 emergency responders were active in southern China, clearing debris, restoring power, and assisting residents. Medical teams have been deployed to evacuation centers, and engineers are inspecting key infrastructure including bridges, dams, and coastal defenses. Ragasa is expected to weaken further as it moves inland, but meteorologists warn that significant rainfall will continue across parts of Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian for several days. Authorities are preparing for possible secondary disasters, such as flooding and landslides even after the storm has dissipated. For millions across southern China, the storm has disrupted daily life, but officials note that large-scale preparations and timely evacuations likely reduced casualties compared with past typhoons of similar strength. The process of rebuilding homes, restoring transport links, and repairing economic losses, however, is expected to take weeks, if not months.